Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Jeremy, the Centrepreneur, coming at you today with not a top 10, but a 10 great, inoffensive office work interview fragrance video. Now, this is a request from one of my subscribers. Before I jump into this, I would just like to make this clear. I don't work in an office. Most of my work is outside, yeah. And the rest of it I can do from home, so I'm not too worried about what fragrances I'm wearing, and I am not, I can't stress that enough, an expert in the ultimate office sense. But I do know what people around me don't find offensive, what smells classy, and what I like. All these scents, I own about half of them. I plan on buying another third or so of them. They all are really good to me. This is not every good office scent I've ever smelled, but this is every good office scent I've smelled that I like. So, guys, let's just jump right into this. What I've got is I've got 5 designers, I've got 5 niche, and I'm just gonna alternate back and forth between the two. If I don't own a bottle, I'm gonna have a picture flash across the screen here for you guys. So the first one I want to talk about is one of the designers that I don't have a bottle for, but would absolutely love in the near future. It's from Tom Ford. It's, in my opinion, the king of work fragrances, and it's Grey Vetiver. Tom Ford Grey Vetiver is fantastic, guys. This is the eau de parfum. I've got a sample of the eau de toilette. I don't like it quite as much. I think the EDP is better. By how much? Not too much, but I like the scent better, and the performance on me is a bit better. So for the EDP, what you're gonna get, really nice, clean vetiver, smells like just a put together gentleman, really. That's really all there is to say about this one. In my opinion, this is the king of designer, inoffensive, classy work scents. So, Tom Ford Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. Alright guys, now let's hop over into the niche with another inoffensive one that I'm sure when I said work fragrances, you've probably figured would be on this list. It's by Creed, it's the king of spring, it's Green Irish Tweed. Creed Green Irish Tweed, I don't own it yet. I've been saying for years that I plan on buying a bottle, and I never have because I've got Hermes Très Nuit, but Green Irish Tweed is better. It smells more natural. In my opinion, it's slightly less offensive. Neither of them are probably going to get any bad reactions, but Green Irish Tweed is better. It smells like a walk in the countryside. Very, very natural. Performance is okay, but it's not gonna upset anybody, which is great. And it smells very, very classy. Dressed up, dressed down, suit, polo, whatever. It works for everything, guys. And that was Green Irish Tweed by Creed. The next one is a designer that I do have a bottle of. It's probably the most boring, in my opinion, fragrance on this list. And it's from Thierry Mugler, and it's Mugler Cologne. It's just soap. It's literally just soap. Like, it smells like a good body wash, a really expensive body wash. I think Thierry Mugler smelled a really good soap, and he was like, hey, let's put this in a bottle, make a fragrance out of it, and they did. It's fantastic. They did a really good job. This is not the classiest scent on the list, but it will not offend anybody, and it's going to have you smelling good for most of the day. Okay, the next is a niche. And this one's going to feature on a future video that I'm doing next week about fragrances I want to buy. It's a relatively new sample for me, and I really didn't give it much attention when I talked about it in Sample City. But it's got my eye now, or my nose, I should say. It's from Xerjoff, and it's Ivory Root. What I get out of Ivory Root is like a herbal, vanilla, a little bit of spice, not too much. On Fragrantica, it doesn't have vanilla listed, but it does have sandalwood, and that kind of would probably give off the vanilla vibe, is my guess. that's what I get from this one. Is it the most inoffensive scent on this list? No. No, this is one of the, yeah, I'd say it's the most daring fragrance on this list. There's one more that might come close, I'll talk about later. But it smells so classy, and if you're in an environment where it's not super hot, you're not super compressed next to each other, I think this would be great. Just be careful with the sprays. You know, I don't have a bottle, so I couldn't tell you exactly, but I wouldn't go crazy with the sprayer. It's very classy though. That was Ivory Root from Xerjoff, guys. And what we've got next is another bottle, a designer. This is probably, you probably already know this one. It's probably the most well-known work scent for guys, and it's Bleu de Chanel. I mean, how can I not put this in this list, right, guys? It's classy, it's inoffensive, just smells like nice cologne, how cologne should smell. And there's nothing wrong with it in my opinion, other than it's quite mainstream and you might smell like a couple other guys. Other than that, there's no real issue. So that was Bleu de Chanel. Next up is a niche, another niche. I may as well do the other one I just mentioned that's could be a little polarizing. It's from my favorite fragrance house. You know I had to work one of these in here. It's Parfums de Marly Leighton. Leighton, guys, bears a lot of similarities to Ivory Root, in my opinion. Leighton is a lot more sweet. There's apple and there's actually vanilla featured in Leighton, whereas Ivory Root has some more herbal notes, and if I'm not mistaken, it's got some spice and the sandalwood. I like Ivory Root better than Leighton, frankly, but Leighton is 100% a crowd pleaser. It's very good. You can't go wrong with it. You might like it more than Ivory Root. It smells designer-ish, like a really high-class designer scent, but at a niche price, so that's a bit of a turn-off. All the same, it is a mass pleaser. It is very good. I love Leighton. Parfums de Marly Leighton, guys. The next one is probably the most potentially offensive designer on this list, and it's from Hermes, and it's Terre d'Hermes. This is the Eau de Toilette, and what you're gonna get out of this one is a dirty orange. It's not, that makes it sound a bit more offensive than it actually is. That dirty orange doesn't last too long. It calms down pretty quick and becomes quite a chill orange. It does maintain that earthy quality, but it's very, very classy. And again, if you take it easy with the sprays, don't go crazy, it's perfectly fine, I think, for the office. Very classy. Most people won't like it. There are some that do, but that was Terre d'Hermes, guys. Next one, another niche. This is one that I have written off. I don't want to buy it. I like its counterpart a little more, but I think this one is a better office fragrance. This one is from the Tom Ford Private Blend collection, I think. Yeah, it's Private Blend. It's Neroli Portofino Forte. So if you've seen my battle video I did a couple weeks ago, you know I like Aqua better. Neroli Portofino Aqua. But it's not as classy as Forte, in my opinion. Forte is like the original Neroli Portofino mixed with a little green Irish tweed sort of vibe. And to me it comes off smelling very clean, quite sophisticated, and I don't think you would offend anybody by wearing this little guy here. Guys, now we're into the last designer in the last niche. The last designer on this list, very well-known work fragrance. I featured it in my Calming Scents video. It's from Yves Saint Laurent. It's L'Homme. It's good. It's just good. It just makes you smile. It's ginger and it's apple. It's a cologne vibe. I find it can be quite classy. You could dress it up, but it's much better as just a casual, just another day at work kind of scent. It's so good. It's so good. I'm very glad to have this in my collection. It's not gonna offend anybody unless you really go ham with the sprays, eh? So that was Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme. Now for the last niche, this is another one I want to feature on that buy list video I'm doing next week. But it smells quite similar to a very classy designer fragrance that didn't make this list. It's from the house of Karna, Barcelona, and it's D600. Guys, if you're unfamiliar with this fragrance, it's very close to Christian Dior's Dior Homme. I do get some differences though. D600 to me is much classier, and there's no lipstick vibe ever throughout it, which makes me automatically like it more than Dior Homme. The lipstick vibe in those fragrances is the big sticking point for me, which makes me not really like them as much as, in my opinion, they deserve, but I just can't wrap my nose around that. D600, kind of like Dior Homme, to take out the lipstick vibe, amp up the vanilla a little bit. That's what I get. I don't get very good performance out of this one. I have no idea how many sprays it would take for people to smell you, but if you're in an office, you don't really want to be smelled from very far away, so I think it's a very good option. Very good, and I'm actively looking for a good deal on this one. If I find it, I'll probably end up buying it, because it is just classy, classy, classy vanilla, man. I love it. I love it. I couldn't believe it the first time I tried this. I did not have the highest hopes, but it's very, very good, very, very classy, dressed up, dressed down. I do think it'd be better dressed down, like most of these, but amazing stuff, guys. That was Karna Barcelona's D600, and that was the 10th fragrance I wanted to talk about today, guys. Like I said, these are not in any particular order, and I did leave out even a lot of samples I've got in my sample box from this list. I left out a couple bottles as well that I've seen used in these work videos in the past. I just don't like them as much. These are 10 fragrances that I can actually say that I really, really like. In the comments down below, let me know, what is your favorite work scent, or your top 5, whatever you feel like sharing. Do you like any of these for work? Some of you might work in an office and be like, no, that's not very good in an office, Mr. Centrepreneur. I think it would be. I would definitely try it in an office. But like I said, I don't have much experience in this. I've worn some of these to like interviews, a couple sales pitches in the past, just like random things, family events, random things where I don't want to smell offensive, but I want to smell good. That's what these are, guys. Excellent for the office. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this type of video, please subscribe. There is new content coming out all the time. Stay tuned next week for my buy list video. I'm super excited to make that one, and it's fixing to be real good. All right, guys, have a good night. I'll talk to you later.